Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. Welcome to the podcast. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. What you drinking?
Um, I am drinking peppermint tea. It's like peppermint probiotic tea. Did I tell you? I think I am on this peppermint tea kick, like you would
Oh,
not believe.
okay.
Just good for the tummy.
A little probiotic.
And the probiotic and the peppermint, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Nice.
Anyway, I am like on this kick where I am drinking, I don't know, like a lot of it, like 3 cups of it a day,
Oh,
maybe.
is it
hmm
helping?
I don't know. I don't think so, but like
You're like, it's not hurting.
it's not hurting and it does make my stomach feel good. Like
Okay.
and yeah, less inflammation too. So I'm thinking it's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
What are you drinking?
I had a bottle of Whispering Angel left over
Oh,
from,
that's so pretty. And I
isn't it?
like the name.
I know. And so I sort of felt like I wasn't going to let it go to waste and I could probably use it today. So
Yeah.
cheers.
Yours.
And it's delicious.
I love the bottle. It just looks so pretty. I love it.
It's one of
hmm
my favorites.
Mm,
Kind of a special occasion. It's not one that we'll get all the time. But
yeah.
my girlfriend brought it over this weekend and we didn't finish it. So
Ah, there you go.
I will not let it go to waste.
Cool.
So, wow. We need to talk about emotional regulation today
hmm Yeah.
because you've heard me say many, many times, it doesn't matter what's going on around you, what it looks like,
Yeah,
because it's always working out for you, even if you can't see it in the moment.
for sure.
And I've had two situations this week that kind of came at me. And one of them was last week. And surprisingly, I didn't get angry. I went, oh, this is a sign
Mm,
from the universe. I wanted to kind of get angry, but I was like, what will I miss out on if I go to anger
I love it.
in this moment? So that was on a scale, it was a little smaller. However, I was super proud of myself
hmm
because I regulated it
Yeah.
and it helped me focus in a way that I wouldn't have been able to do a year ago, 2 years ago.
Mm, I
So
love
then, I don't know if any of you have heard, but there was an election.
Even us people up in Canada have. Yeah.
And I don't really talk about political beliefs. If you talk to me, you pretty much know where I stand. We had a very, to me, surprising outcome in our election this week. And I was very hopeful at this point. And I was watching it election night, and I didn't watch long because I could feel the way my body felt.
hmm
And I was like, this is going to turn out how it's going to turn out. And it always turns out perfect,
Yeah.
even when it doesn't look like it in the moment. So I'm
Yeah.
going to turn this off so that I'm not sitting in all of this muck.
hmm
And so I did. And I turned something else on, turned on a little Long Island medium. And because it makes my heart happy when I'm watching that.
hmm
And I thought it's a great distraction. It's making me think happy thoughts. And then I went to sleep and I would wake up through the night, look at my phone, no updates on anything. So I'm like, there's no news. I will find out tomorrow when I wake up. And when I woke up, I knew. I just knew that the side I voted for did not win.
Mhm.
But I didn't go straight to the news. I went straight to my meditation. I was like, I am doing my routine. I am
I
not
love it.
letting this derail it.
Mhm.
And then I turned on our little local news where we get our weather from and saw it. It wasn't official yet, but it was official.
Mhm.
And my heart like sank for a minute, like, oh, fuck, what am I going to do? And then it was like, well, what would you tell a client to do? What you would
Yeah.
tell them everything always works out. And even when things appear to not be working out, they're working out.
Yeah.
And so I start feeling better. And then I get up and Lily gets up beside herself.
Mm.
How are you going to show up for your daughter? What are you going to have to say to her? You going to
Yeah.
sit in fear and tell her all of the horrible things that could go wrong? Hmm, that doesn't seem like a smart idea because
Yeah.
she's going to respond like you do. So, what if you stand in your power and say, this is giving us a focus, a
Mhm.
fire under our asses? What do we want? Where are we going? Are
Mhm.
we really going to let this thing right here disrupt our day and life and year? No. And when we see things that we need to stand up for and people that we need to stand with, we'll go stand with them.
Mhm.
But in the meantime, when we see somebody hungry, we will help. We
Yeah.
will, that's where our power's at. And then my phone started blowing up.
Oh, gee.
All my friends, people I serve with in the community, people that were running for positions that actually were elected, but they weren't at that high level. And all of them very, very upset about what happened.
Mhm.
And I'm like, we have to be the light.
Yeah.
Feel what you need to feel right now. But then you need to get out there and keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we can't stop being who we are and start being angry.
And it doesn't help us.
No,
It
and
doesn't
it
help us and it doesn't help anyone,
keeps
right?
us from living in our magic
Yeah.
and doing amazing things. So one of my girlfriends does breath work and she had been wanting to practice on me, and we just happened to set it up for today because
Oh.
I wasn't in the office. And I thought, okay, this is good. And I finished the breath work, but it was like I need a hypnotherapy session. Like this was not enough. I need a specific thing. And then I hear make a hypnotherapy session for this specific day.
Mm.
It lit a fire under me in a way that I literally put one together and recorded it.
Nice.
And then I started sending it to my girlfriends, going, here, focus, here. We have a choice in every situation because these things happen in life, right? It's not always this perfect, easy path,
Yeah.
but I don't believe this is an accident. I think apparently, we didn't get the subtle message. So now we get the loud screaming one.
That's always the way, right? If we
How
don't
does
listen
Oprah
the
say
first
it?
time,
You can hear the whisper or you can hear the
if
scream.
you don't listen to the whispers, you're going, if you don't listen to the whisper, you're going to have to listen to the screamer. You're going to have to hear the
Mm,
scream.
yeah,
Shoot. I
something.
can't remember what that quote is, but it's written down. Oprah,
Yeah,
always Oprah, right? Like
yeah.
she says the most
So,
amazing things.
but it's a great lesson for all of us
Yeah.
to listen, to pay attention, and to not get distracted.
What I love the most about this story is something you missed telling on the podcast, but you did say to me. What I love is when you said you were watching the election, you were watching it, and it didn't feel good in your body. And what you said to me before was, and you knew you didn't want to go to sleep in that energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many of us would have, though?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, and so what are we doing? We're just creating havoc in our minds for us to think about it, dream about it, our subconscious mind to really think about it all night long. You
Yeah.
probably would have had a shitty sleep. You
Mhm.
would have woken up every hour on the hour trying to look at, where were because that's what you go to bed and your subconscious mind starts to go over and over and over what you were just thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, really, I love that you just recognized, wait a minute, this isn't good for me, and I don't want to go to bed thinking about this.
And
Let
I
me
could
put on
also
something that I love.
feel it in my body. I could feel
Yeah,
the offness of it
yeah,
and the unimportance of it in that moment.
yeah,
Whatever was done was done.
right.
I knew something was going to happen, but I did not need to watch the train wreck
Yeah.
play
Well,
by
and
play.
interesting because I have a lot of American clients on both sides.
Mhm.
And wow, before I was seeing a lot of posts come through, right? A lot of like, make sure you vote kind of posts.
Yeah.
Today, I'm always the one. I am always the one that says, if you don't like your news feed, you're the one that's engaging in it. Like you're the algorithm, like what you're putting out, you're getting back.
Yeah.
So if you don't like your news feed, change what you're saying because I mean, your phone, Facebook is picking up what you say. So if you're going to be talking about one party or another, you're going to get all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was because I was watching the election all night long, but like my news feed is full of people commenting
Mhm.
three ways. One is like, celebration. The others is like devastation. And the third is like, can't we all be friends? Like it's
Yeah.
like, and I felt like I was becoming dysregulated listening to it. It was like whiplash on my emotions. I did not like it. So I had to stop opening up Facebook. And then I was on Instagram, and the best post ever from Gabby Bernstein, all she said was, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things you can, and wisdom to know the difference.
Yeah.
And that is the best. I mean, I love the serenity prayer so much. I need it. Sometimes it is like similar to give it to God and go to sleep
Yeah.
for me, right? It's like, and I am just in the space of like, right. So what can we change and what can we not change? And having the wisdom to understand, because a lot of times we get confused by that.
Yeah.
Whether you live you believe in God, it could be, universe grant me the serenity, it doesn't matter. I just think, oh, it's so true. If we can't change the outcome
Mhm.
now, what can we change?
Yeah.
Our response to it,
Absolutely.
emotional regulation,
Mhm.
not propelling people in either way,
Yeah.
trying to promote just like regulation and love.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just thought, Gabby, you've done it again.
No, and I think that's a great response.
It's so much,
For
it
this.
is. I just love it so much, right? And I have quotes of the Serenity Prayer a number of places. It's so funny, I just 2 days ago, so I'm doing daily podcasts on my other podcast, and just 2 days ago I did a podcast, and it was called We Can Have Differing Opinions Without Being an Asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And And this wasn't, it had nothing to do with the election, but I feel like I should promote it all over the place
Right.
because I was talking about business. And there was a point in time where it was really popular. Like business coaches were really, this was probably 2015, 2016, where business coaches were really focused on saying you need to be polarizing. So say this stuff, say polarizing things to get activity going in your newsfeed and increase your algorithm. And what I was noticing to the up until the election anyway was people posting things like I don't want arguments but red or blue. And I'm thinking, no, what you want is your algorithm tripped. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it started to become this bashing back and forth
Mm.
in the comments section. And I just thought, you know, there was a point in time where we were raised, you and I were raised, I'm guessing you were.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
Yeah.
But for some reason, especially in the last 4 years, I would say it has become so common to
8
get
years.
dysregulated and then attack, like put
Yeah.
your fingers on the keyboards instead of just breathing and walking away.
Yeah. Well, I think part of it is that we were also taught not to discuss religion or politics
Or money.
or money.
Yeah.
And I think that we got it wrong because what we did is we created a generation or two or three
Yeah.
of people that are incapable of discussing religion and
Mhm.
politics and money.
Yes, I saw a post like that, and it's so true. We should be able to have differing opinions without arguing.
Yeah.
We shouldn't, we should be able to speak about these things
Yeah.
without it becoming an argument. And we should be able to have differing opinions and still just go, well, that's right for you, and this is right for me. And we're both right or we're both wrong, right? Like
Right.
we
Right.
all need to read the four agreements again.
Yeah, for sure. I used to have a girlfriend. She's moved away. We are still friends, but when she lived down the street, we were really, really close. Our kids were about the same age, and we would walk almost every day. And we were polar opposites as
Mm-hmm.
far as politics and religion. And I remember like in 2008, when Obama was elected, and she hated Obama, like with a passion. I loved Obama with a passion. But we would walk and she would tell me her point of view. And she was pissed. But I could hear her and I could go, "Oh, I can see that. And I can see this." But it wasn't the it wasn't as polarized where like I didn't hate the Republicans.
Yeah.
It was like I just didn't vote for McCain because I didn't like Palin. I would have probably voted for McCain
Mm-hmm.
if he had had a different running mate. But
Yeah.
so it was that kind of a thing. And and then I could share my point of view with her, and she would go,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh." And we had this great ability to discuss anything that we were so opposite on with
Yeah.
understanding. We never got angry with each other. We just wanted to understand each other. And we would talk about how we could change the world. We're like, we need to have a show and talk about our differences of opinions. We have
Yeah.
to do it in such a way that it could just change the whole world. And that we would always joke about that. But it was true.
Yeah. Well, and we should be able to. We should be mature enough to be able to have that discussion and not shit on the person that
Yeah.
disagrees, right? Like we should be able to be okay in our decision or okay in our opinion and our
Mhm.
position and allow someone else to be okay in theirs. There was I don't remember if I said this last week on the podcast or what. But there was something that I saw on social media, I believe, and it said the biggest, oh, actually, I think it was Mel Robbins on her podcast was interviewing someone, and it was on relationships. And the person said that the biggest problem in relationships today is that people have discussions to be right instead of understanding.
Yeah.
And if we just got over this idea that we can have our position and we can be right for ourselves without having to convince the other person we're right,
Yeah.
right? Like I just allow everyone to just have their opinion.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Okay. Well, and it's what's interesting is that Easton, who is now 4.5, maybe, he is on this kick of when he has an idea that something is whatever,
Oh,
it is
it,
fact. And he will die on that hill, like angry. No, no, no. This is the only way to do this. And I wish I could think of an example, but there's a
okay.
bunch of them.
Yeah.
And it's like they're grown people. Like this is a stage of
Mhm.
development. This is totally normal and natural. This is how he learns. Oh, there are other thoughts.
Yeah.
There are other ideas. But we've got to teach him. We've got to let him, like, so when he's wrong about something, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, okay. But
Yeah.
what happens is that we are taught things growing up that are absolute truths
Hmm.
in these critical ages where we learn how to think and we
Yeah.
can't bend.
It's
And
true.
so a lot of these people are stuck at age 4
Yeah. It's true.
because
It's so true.
they have been taught this is the only way it is. And if you don't get out and start expanding that and questioning yourself,
Hmm.
how do I know I'm right? How do I know?
Well, and
What?
that's what I think. I think like I know I'm right based on for me.
Yeah.
Like I think this is my opinion. I'm solid in my opinion. This is an agreement that I made.
Yeah.
So I'm solid in my opinion. I know why I believe it. I know that I believe it because of my abilities, because of my education, because of the things that have happened, the beliefs that I have, this history that I have. And I also know that I get to shift. I get to change that. But I also know that someone with another opinion opposite to mine doesn't make mine wrong. It just makes mine right for me in this moment. And theirs opinion is right for them in their moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree. It's such a unique perspective, but yeah, we're all stuck in H4.
I know. I know.
Like,
It's crazy.
let me.
But it's funny because once we start digging in, and that's what I'm hoping with all of this chaos and turmoil, that it's going to make us have to communicate
Mhm,
differently.
mhm.
And as we begin to talk and look at other people's points of view, and, we have a lot of religions here in this country. And to think that there should just be one,
Right.
it's
Well,
going to
religion
require,
is religion is such a good point, right? Because someone can be a Buddhist
Mhm.
and believe what they believe, and someone can be an atheist, and someone can be a Catholic, and someone can have, and they're all so different.
Yeah,
And we get to have different opinions, like different, like full different faith.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm not trying to convince someone that is a different faith than me that they're wrong. They get to choose whatever they want. Like,
yeah.
okay,
It's
right?
it's like when I went to visit the mosque for my class. It was such a
Yeah.
beautiful experience for me. I mean, I
Mhm.
walked in there as an arrogant bitch on my high horse.
Really?
Oh my God. My instructor said, you have to pick a religion that you didn't grow up with, anyone that you want. And I was like, I want to pick Islam because I have the most resistance to that. And
Wow.
I want to show how wrong they are. I really think that was my intention. I might not have said those words, but I was drawn to the one that I had the most resistance to. And I'm on the phone in the parking lot with Paul going, you're not going to believe this shit. The men are walking in the front door, all smiley and happy, and the women are walking with the kids all covered. This is
Hmm.
craziness.
Wow.
And just on my high horse. I mean, looking back on it, I cringe.
Hmm.
And I walk in and I meet with these women and I listen to the service. And I've talked about this before. The service was no different than any Southern
Yeah.
Baptist service. Wasn't any
I
different than,
forgot. You had told me, you had said this story before. It's
yeah,
so fascinating,
yeah.
really.
But it
Yeah.
was beautiful sitting
Hmm.
through their service, listening to a message of love.
Yeah.
And then I interviewed the women and got their point of view. And they weren't terrorists,
Right.
which is what the perception was.
Hmm.
And
It's
in fact, they weren't really any different than me.
it's just awareness and understanding though, right?
Well, I'm not
Because
afraid of them anymore because I was before that.
yeah, wow.
Now, would I choose that religion? Absolutely not.
Mhm.
That doesn't fit me. Does
Yeah,
that mean it's wrong for them? Absolutely not.
right.
And if all of us with different beliefs could come together and talk
Hmm.
about that and see the reality of what it is,
Yeah.
oh, we'd see the beauty. I mean, I think visiting with Hindus is one of my most favorite things because my Hindu patients that I work with, they're so open. So they'll come in and they're talking about what their traditions are that are going on, and to sit and ask them about it, and then them share that piece of themselves with me. Some of their traditions, I'm like, I want to be a part of that tradition just for the way it feels and them talking about it. But if we could all get to that point where we're communicating that way and see the beauty in
Yeah,
people that are different than us,
exactly.
we'd fix the whole world.
Exactly.
But with that, I think we're out of time.
We are, and I am almost out of power on my phone, on my computer.
Oh,
So
but not
great
yet.
timing. Not yet.
Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate it.
Oh,
And
oh,
thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
bye.